MHC1 versus MHC2. Human lymphocyte antigens A, B, and C for 1, because this is 1 letter, 1 letter, 1 letter. MHC2, 2 letters, 2 letters, 2 letters. That's the easiest thing to remember. It's so easy, they even have it here. I like to remember CD8 with MHC1 because everything multiplies to 8. CD4, well, everything multiplies to 8, so it has to be MHC2. Now, you can look down here and see just how there's one long chain, one short chain. You can think of this as the beta 2 as the short chain, and then 2 normal length chains. However, don't think that this is the invariant chain that everyone talks about. This is not the invariant chain. Alright, now this is associated with the beta 2 microglobulin, of course, and we'll go and look at the big things that they're going to test you on. So it's interesting that they draw, hey, this is what it's going to look like, MHC1, MHC2. But the one thing that they always will test you on, always, I guarantee it, is on how the antigen is loaded. Alright, so what do they tell you? I'll just read this really quickly because then I'll show you a cool little image. MHC2, antigen is loaded after the release of the invariant chain. After the release of the invariant chain in an endosome. And here it says, loaded in the rough endoplasmic reticulum after a transport-associated protein processing. Okay, let's look at this. MHC1, loaded in the endoplasmic reticulum. Look, after transport-associated protein processing or whatever. Boom. They will always ask you which one is done in the endoplasmic reticulum, and you'll always have to say, well, that's MHC class 1. Let's look at MHC class 2. What is this invariant chain that they keep talking about? Well, this invariant chain is actually this thing right here. The invariant chain actually blocks the binding of the protein in question until an acidified endosome, with the help of HLDN, removes the remnant of this invariant chain called clip, and then you actually have the protein in question binding to it and finally being presented. So again, I know it's all very clear on this page, but let's just talk through it together. MHC class 1, everything binds in the endoplasmic reticulum. MHC class 2, everything binds in an acidified endosome. Who cares about this invariant chain? Well, it matters because it's specific for MHC class 2. And the invariant chain only goes away, well, technically, it goes away at the end in this acidified endosome with the help of HLA-DM. Clip is the remnant of the invariant chain, and you'll notice that with the help of HLA-DM, pops off, and inside of the acidified endosome, you have the protein in question being loaded onto MHC class 2. And MHC class 1, this is all done via this transport right here in the endoplasmic reticulum. Fantastic. Alright, so what's the last thing that we didn't mention? Well, the only thing really is that all nucleated cells, except of course red blood cells, have MHC1 on them. And that's huge, because you'll start looking at things like certain cells looking for things that don't have MHC class 1 on them and just start attacking them. So, antigen presenting cells love some MHC class 2. MHC class 1, all nucleated cells. Except, of course, red blood cells. They'll test you on that. Alright, so on this page we went through... Oh, we didn't go through everything yet. Oh, man. Okay, so in this half then, everything here multiplies to 8. Very nice. The big thing is the beta-2 microglobulin for MHC class 1. The big thing is the invariant chain for MHC class 2. The invariant chain is what ends up getting lost finally in the acidified endosome. Okay, MHC class 1, everything happens in the endoplasmic reticulum. MHC class 2, everything happens in an acidified endosome. Okay, another big thing, endogenous antigens, MHC class 1. Exogenous antigens, MHC class 2. Alright. And then these subtypes. Subtypes are pretty big, and I'll kind of explain why, not just for testing. You have to remember absolutely all of these, especially the ones where there's just one. A3, hemochromatosis. DR5, Hashimoto's. C for psoriasis. DQ2, DQ8, celiac disease, blah 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 blah. 2-3 SLE. Big one though, when you do your rheumatology elective, or if you're ever talking to a rheumatologist, HLA-B27, they run this thing all the time. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. Keep on seeing it for your seronegative spondyloarthropathies. Oh, yeah, here we go. You'll keep seeing this time and time again. So, this is important not just for the test, but in real life too, because you'll see someone with this result and you'll start thinking, we gotta go in this direction, gotta go in this direction. Please memorize all of these, there's nothing else to do. You just have to memorize it, they have some cool little tricks. I like 2-3 SLE, and the rest just, you'll find your own way. To recap, endogenous antigens, MHC1. Exogenous, MHC2. They love testing you on where everything is loaded. MHC1, rough endoplasmic reticulum, MHC2, and an acidified endosome. The invariant chain, this is not the invariant chain. This is the structure of the MHC. The invariant chain is this red thing right here that will not get released until you get some help from HLA-DM and an acidified endosome. All nucleated cells except red blood cells for MHC1, antigen presenting cells for MHC2. And everything multiplies to 8. You will get at the very least, one question on your exam, on your step 1 exam from this page. Know it all. Just from this half page, you'll get at least one question.